What's up, you car mother lovers? Welcome back to another episode of the Curb Appeal TV podcast. I'm Phil.
I'm Jackson.
And today we're talking about where we've been, what's been going on. I know it's been a while since we last spoke. We want to keep you guys posted with, what's going on with the brand and, what direction we're taking it in and why we didn't make any content as far as the podcast for the month of December because we were working a lot and things like that. So we're going to dive right into it.
So it really all started here, over a time of us, chatting back and forth in my garage studio here and talking more about going from a transition of more entertaining content only to really pushing, merchandise and becoming a clothing brand for car guys and car enthusiasts. And we'd like to go in the direction of, luxury or premium garments, really high quality stitching, patterns, embroidery, the whole fit and finish, bagging, everything. And so that's a lot of the research that Phil has been putting a lot of work in on business to business manufacturers, which he'll tell you about, and just doing a lot of just recon, looking online and seeing what's working for other people, strategies, and how to be as successful as possible while we're going through this process. Because it is it's a whole lot more work than what you see in these reels on Instagram and TikTok or whatever. It's like, day in the life of being a clothing brand owner. And then like you post one TikTok and got like 100 orders and then they take the picture of them laying on the bags or whatever. But, I've been enjoying the process. I know Phil has been too. And, if you want to tell them a little bit about, our success we had it was the very beginning of this month. We had all of our merch samples. Some I made by hand here in the studio on the heat press. Some we had made from, the podcast days. And just stuff we had stocked up, and turnout was great. We kind of did everything last minute and threw it together. Really wasn't a plan behind it, and that's kind of with our motto, Art in Motion, which we'll get into in a little bit about just kind of doing it regardless of everything being perfect and just figuring out a way. But yeah, so we set up shop there. Got a tent, tables, got some stocked up on a lot of caffeine. Yeah, we had probably
almost $200 worth of energy drinks. A slight overkill. We had a lot left over, but it is what it was. So yeah, set up, and we really went with the intent of getting people's feedback on which design they like the best as far as our clothing goes. So we laid out everything. We had like hangers similar to like what you see here. With everything kind of laid out nice and neat. And then we had a whiteboard that said, vote for your favorite design. And if you vote, we'll give you free energy drink, water, whatever you want.
Yep.
And instead of that, people just started, throwing money at us. They wanted to buy everything right there on the spot. So it turned out great. We ended up selling out of pretty much everything. The things that we took back were things that we were wearing. So that's probably why.
Yeah.
But yeah, so huge turnout, which motivated us even more to, really dive deep into this. With the pod this past year, we had, cultivated like a formula of all right, this is how we're going to post every day. This is how many videos we need to shoot. This is how we edit the videos. We had it dialed into a process to where it was fast and we were able to pump content out for you guys.
Whole system.
So now we transition into here. So it's we're having to redo that process and come up with systems and processes to be able to be the most efficient, to be able to, push out the content, the best merch, and everything like that. We spent a lot of time as far as the design, research of quality garments, stitching, dealing with top-notch manufacturers from a lot of well-known brands that you know and love as well. A lot of heavy fabrics coming, a lot of high-quality, luxury fashion apparel, which isn't very common kind of in our realm, but we want to kind of introduce that because just because you're a car guy and you like car things doesn't mean that you can't be fresh to death while at your car meet, drift meet up, whatever. So that's kind of our goal.
Yeah, that's the direction we're going for. And, if you guys are digging, what we're up to, drop a comment below. Let us know what y'all think. And, check out the new setup for the studio. We redid the whole thing here and may have to redo it here again soon as I'll probably be moving.
Yeah, Jackson got a house.
Yeah, in the process of finishing up getting a home. and would be
joining the home club, man.
Yeah, would be transferring all this stuff that we got set up here to the new location, new Curb Appeal headquarters. But for us too, one thing I like to talk about too for like people that are interested in clothes or looking to get information on how they can do stuff or get started. A lot of inspiration that I got myself personally and Phil got into as well is a channel and a group of guys, a brand that goes by World and Vision. They have a very good podcast with lots of dope information, interviews with up and coming clothing brand owners, their successes, and it's been pretty amazing to see them go through the whole process now on YouTube. But they've been at it for like 10 plus years now, which is pretty amazing to like now just see them after all that work put in, and then now they're putting out like all this content that's really helping even grow more. But
and I think that's one thing that I really like about like what you'll see moving forward with the pace of content that we have. A lot of those guys like which I get. I mean, you focused on one thing, and then they built their brand into like something that's top notch level, and then they got into position to help everybody. We aren't like with the intent to like sell you a course or anything like that. We're just wanting to bring you guys along the process of like start to finish. So you're seeing us now in the beginning, putting action, put it in the work, and we're going to take you guys along from now until the top. So you'll see a full documentary as of how we did it from start to finish. So then you can then replicate it in your own way, and hopefully, join us there, with your own brand.
Yeah, join us along the way. Be a part of the community, and if you're rocking with us, join the Curb Appeal community. Stay tuned for our drops. We'll have a link in the subscription where you can sign up for our text list and get notified when everything's available. But one thing we learned from them, they really pushed hard on what they call the backpack method and doing as many pop-up shops as possible.
Yeah, being as involved as you can in the community. Yeah. Big deal.
That's massive. It really is. And we saw it firsthand because we were initially going to the car show. It's Caffeine and Octane Atlanta. It's at Town Center Mall in Marietta or Kennesaw area. And we had we were only there really for about 2.5 hours. It was freezing cold.
It's freezing cold. First pop-up shop. We sold most of the samples.
But it was packed, first car show of the year, and there's thousands of people, so it's our direct audience. And, even before we were talking, really want to get feedback, blah, 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 because we had a photo shoot that we were going to set up afterwards. And
we sold out of everything. we had to cancel the photo shoot. Good problem to have. But, now you got to wait which is good because we learned a lot before, so for that first batch of merch, we didn't really know as much as we know now. Now for the second and moving forward, we know tremendously a lot more. Meaning that faster shipping times, higher quality stuff, and you guys get to connect with us, our designs, and things like that. And that's part of our philosophy, art in motion. Not having everything laid out perfectly, but kind of figuring it out as you go. I never envisioned myself as a clothing brand owner growing up or anything like that. I've always liked fashion, but I always thought that maybe that wasn't right for me or anything like that. And, the more I dive deep into it, the more passionate I am about it and, falling in love with it and the process and everything, becoming obsessed with it. It's all I do when first thing I wake up.
Yeah, always on your mind.
It's always on my mind. Yeah. And I'm always thinking about the best design, how I can improve the fabric quality and get you guys the highest quality merch there is in the game. Yeah. Because, we want to come for brands like Off-White, Rude, and things like that, and we will get there. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, so
we're coming for you.
Yeah, we've been taking a lot of inspiration from the luxury designer brands. And what's funny too, a lot of the time, Gallery Department or Fear God or all these really nice kind of luxury items. A lot of their hoodies and shirts are primarily 100% cotton. It's just really heavyweight stuff with nice design, and then all the marketing and hype they build up around it. But it's pretty amazing when you see a shirt that costs less than $5 on bulk order, and they're selling it for $250, or a hoodie that's $10-15 and they're selling it for a couple $100. It's just crazy.
Yeah, presentation's everything. Why you buy something is also a big deal too. We focus a lot on that. what would entice somebody to do business with us. We've got a lot of sales and customer service experience, so it came very natural to us when we were like out in the car show, talking to people, grabbing people, sparking up conversations and things like that, which I think is a vital skill. So if you're ever going to get started in something like this, sales, retail, I highly recommend that you go work a few months at some sort of retail job so you can get that kind of face-to-face interaction, learn how to communicate, learn how to sell, and get to know people, because that's who you'll be doing business with, essentially. But yeah, no, we're here to help any way we can. We're excited to take you guys along the process. Got some really dope vendors that we're dealing with now.
Internationally,
internationally, yeah. But based on like a lot of the research that I've done, just countless hours of research, like pretty much like a 12-hour shift of just like looking it up and figuring it out, and like cold calling or DMing and messaging a bunch of people and just figuring out the right one, and figuring out which one has the quickest response time, the highest quality garments, the best price, that does all of the customization things that we want to do, that can get it to us in a decent amount of time. And dealing with the time zones is kind of interesting, because like when we get our stuff from overseas, just like a lot of these big luxury brands do, the time zones are different. So timing that with the time zone here means earlier mornings, later nights, and so you can be able to have that communication with that vendor, so they can get you exactly what you want and what you need, is a big thing too. So we got some cool things coming. I don't want to talk about it too much just yet. I can't wait for you guys to see. I know you guys are just gonna love it. Because we put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this next drop that we got coming out, and I'm excited to share it with you guys.
Yeah, and if you guys want to get early access to it, it should all time out perfectly for us to have the stock available for the car show coming up. It's on the 4th of February, this upcoming month. We're filming this today, January the 18th or 19th? So we'll hopefully have everything in. Right now, all the things been produced. We're just waiting on it to be delivered, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, even that process too. We had a couple garments with designs that we handpicked and selected, and everything like that told us weren't available last minute. We already placed this big bulk order of a ton of items, and now that causes a delay because we actually paid for expedited shipping, which is not very cheap coming from overseas. And then in the back of your mind, like you wonder if it's like, is that the real cause? Like, is it just because they're like delayed because of the one item, or is it just because they're just not going to make the shipping time and they use this as an excuse? So a lot of these things kind of go through your mind. And we still haven't got the stuff yet. And the car show's coming up here on the 4th. We want to have everything ready for that time. We want to have a stock of everything, and we're gonna walk you guys through the process of how we're gonna do it, with all the sizes. We're gonna bag it. We got handwritten or made thank you cards for each customer that does business with us, because we appreciate you guys more than you know, and we really love the continuous support that you guys have been showing us, and yeah, so we'll show you the whole thing of us getting the stuff, bagging it, trying it on, the ones that we're going to have. We actually bought extras for ourselves for like photo shoot and video shoot processes.
We sold out of everything.
Yeah, so we didn't get a chance to show you guys what we had been working on. But it worked out, so not really too upset about that. Yeah, so now, fingers crossed that our vendor comes through with everything in a timely manner, so we have that for you guys at the January 4th car show here in Caffeine and Octane.
Yeah, and the vendor this order of items is coming from is one of the manufacturers that does some items for Fear of God. So we'll have very, if not the same, quality garments.
And they're also a main manufacturer for Canada Goose, if you guys have ever heard of them. They have like the big winter puffer coats with the fur on the hood and like that kind of thing. They also have the puffer vests and stuff like that. And Levi also makes clothes with them as well. So we got some bunch of cool stuff, cool designs that we're working on that I think you guys will like. Wrapping up the winter collection here and working on a spring and summer collection for you guys to enjoy, as the seasons go, of course.
Drop like your favorite items that you already have in your closet, whether it's like a hoodie or a pair of pants or hat maybe. But any ideas that y'all are wanting, we're open to, because we want to make sure, we hit our audience. and that's going to be car guys and car enthusiasts, male and female. So one thing I wanted to mention too, kind of going back to talking about like the backpack method and pop-up shops. If y'all are interested or doing this kind of similar stuff, one thing we did was set up a Square account, get the card reader, linked it to our bank account. We have an LLC and business banking already set up. So we're able to take the orders on the spot with card, super quick and professional. You're not having to be like, okay, what's your Cash App? Can you Zelle me or whatever? But one thing I heard, like Alex Hormozy talking about in one of his clips was like he was at a gas station or whatever, and he appreciates salespeople. So like a kid came up to him like trying to sell him some cologne or whatever, and Alex was like, okay, cool, yeah, I'll buy it. And the kid didn't have like any way to accept the payment, right there on the spot. So he walked off, tried to go sell like another customer real quick, and by the time he came back, Alex was like, all right, I'm gonna go, about the rest of my day, like I'm gone. So you got to be able to, if you are doing that, be able to take the transaction, right there on the spot. And that's a really nice way to go about it, because you can just keep it in your pocket and then it clips in and it just looks professional, especially when you're mobile like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And also, we would really appreciate, feedback. We'd like to turn this year into like our biggest year yet as far as clothing goes. If you guys are clothing brand owners and have experience doing this and would like to give us feedback on like what we should do next, or what route we should take this, that like based on your experience, we're open to hearing like those ideas, because ultimately learning is what helps us grow, and that's all we want to do is we want to grow.
Yeah. And it really is it's a work in progress, because I think Phil agrees with me, but we got like multi-million-dollar ideas stuck in our head, and we're trying to figure out the best ways to execute on them. And during that whole process of figuring out things, is the work is working on us as much as we're working on it. So
yeah, I kind of like I always like envision this whole process in my mind as like I'm working on a car, and I can't figure out what the problem is. So I'm trying out like these like different things. I'm taking out like parts and stuff like that, and I'm putting them back in, just trying to figure out which levers I need to pull to get the car running as efficiently as possible, so it's ready in race mode and ready to go. And I feel like we're really close to fixing our vehicle that gets us there. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, no, that's a really good way to think about it too. And that's even one thing Hormozy talks about too, is like the vehicle that gets you to like where you're going. And that's, I'm sure you probably understand that because you watch all of this stuff too.
Yeah.
But for you, all the people watching too, we try to keep our mindset like this. So all the information that we take in, whether we're watching videos on YouTube or social media, we have it almost all, like there's of course like some friends and family and whatever, but try to just consume only content towards like what we're trying to accomplish. So all the things popping up in my feed now are like clothing brand ads, or like giveaways, or anything related to basically everything that we're talking about now. And it's been really just, you gotta fully immerse yourself in it. You gotta want it like you're stuck underwater and you can't breathe, and it's going to be on your mind all the time. And even once you reach the certain heights of success, that's when you got to put your foot even more on the gas.
Yeah, no, 100%. Speaking of putting your foot on the gas, like one of the things that I like to do is I like to stay in shape. I'm actually getting ready to start back 75 hard. It's a mental health program, not really a challenge, to like dial in your discipline. So I'm looking to do that. I'm looking to get in as highest, like best peak shape as I can as possible, so that I do have the energy and fuel that I need to that my body will demand of working all these hours and getting it out, because I want to grind out as much as I can this year, because I want to have the biggest turnout. Regardless of if we see a result or not, I'm still gonna do the things, do the motion, because I know if I do it long enough, it'll pay out.
Yeah. And for us now, again, we're gonna take you guys along the journey. So stick with us. You can see the whole process, our story. It all started where we're sitting now here in the garage, and hopefully in a couple years or a couple months, you can see us transition from where we are now to what we're sharing our vision to be with you.
Yeah, just in a bigger garage with nicer cars.
It'd be a compound essentially.
Yeah,
with a freaking track around the outside, warehouse with lifts, be able to just do really anything car related we could possibly imagine without having to leave the compound. And ideally it'd probably be somewhere here in like Georgia or like North Georgia mountains, but have it to the massive headquarters, warehouse, factory production, like all in one. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be that's cool. That's what we want to do. We want to get to a point to where we don't have to use outside vendors. We want to do everything in house right here in the good old
USA.
Good old USA, baby.
Yeah. That's something that we haven't found, and I'm sure y'all or people similar to us doing the same kind of thing have found that you have to go overseas to get these prices for wholesale and bulk orders. The quality is just there's nothing that's offered here, and there's a few that are kind of okay, but nothing to the point where it's just like a really clean website. It works how you think it should work. It's very intuitive. You place all your designs in, mock it up there, order it. We found a few that are similar, but they all fulfill from overseas. So it's there's nothing here U.S. based, and
coming soon.
That's something we'd like to work on.
That's it today. It's a short one today. The Curb Appeal TV podcast. It's been great. Sorry for the absence there. Also, it was December, so if you're familiar with dealership life, it's very busy. So you sell a lot of cars, and you're constantly working every day, and it's no time for anything else, unfortunately. But here we are this year. We're coming for you, and stay tuned. I'm Phil.
I'm Jackson. Thanks again for joining us. Make sure to sign up for our list down below if you want to stay tuned for our drops. Join us at the car show, Caffeine and Octane at Town Center Mall, Kennesaw, on the 4th of February. We'll see you guys there, and thanks again.